let me comment about native speakers and what I was saying before. Just one little warning. A lot of my students work with native English speakers.
Ah, yeah.
So, for example, I have some students who are living in Spain, or do they live in Spain? Um, and they have two or three native English speaking colleagues
Mm-hmm.
who are also in Spain. So they all work in the same environment, in the same office.
Mm-hmm.
And my students will say something to me, and I'll go, no, that's not how we say it in English. And they disagree with me and say, well, my colleague who is British says it.
Ah,
And I think that, well, wait a minute. Perhaps what's happening is your colleague has been influenced by Spanish speakers because she or he is living in Spain and
mm,
has been for 2 or 3 years, and they're just getting used to the way you guys are speaking.
yeah. They're
That
picking
happens a lot,
they're
you
picking
know?
up their students' mistakes rather than.
Exactly, exactly, right?
That could be a problem.
And it
Yes. Yeah.
happens to me sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I'm in Spain for a long time, I feel okay. It's time for me to come to Ireland, and listen to people who aren't teachers, who aren't part of the language business, and just communicate with the locals
Yeah.
and get back to my normal English, right?
Veronica, while we're on this topic of kind of how we interact with native speakers, perhaps I should raise the
Right.
question that I think one or two of your students who were watching last week were saying, could you ask John to speak more slowly?
Yeah, yeah. So, you guys, those of you who asked me that, listen carefully, okay? I know you understand me. I know that we've been having lessons for how many years together. I'm a slow speaker. You just got lucky that way, or perhaps it's not so lucky, John. Maybe they're not lucky to have me that way.
I think it's pretty obvious, isn't it? The world will not slow down for you. When I go to
That's
Spain and people start saying things to me like, hombre, trae este chisme pa acá, haz lo que fuera, they're not going to slow down for me. They're not going to slow their Spanish down just so that I can catch it. So this is the
well,
problem, and I think this is often the case with classroom English, that people get
yes.
used to hearing the language at a slower than natural native speaker speed, and so
Mm-hmm.
they understand in the classroom, but then when they go out into the street, uh, when they're actually in a real life situation, they
Yeah.
find that they miss a lot of stuff. I find
Well,
that.
what happens with me in Spanish is I will ask someone to slow down, because Spanish is one of those languages where, whew, they speak awfully quickly. Um, and the person does slow down for 20 seconds
Yeah.
and then just goes back to their natural way of speaking. So I just have to learn to catch up with them
My
and not
strategy here.
focus so much on every single word. Just pick up
Yeah,
the
yeah,
content words, focus on mesa, silla,
yeah,
table, chair, those kinds of words. Don't worry about the little ido,
yeah,
just the
yeah.
same as in English. Don't worry about the v in I've. Don't worry about it. Just catch the big words. Yeah.
I find that watching movies like
Mm-hmm.
drama series on Netflix or something with the subtitles on in the same language. So if I'm watching a
Yeah.
Spanish movie, I'll have the Spanish subtitles on. And then oh right, yeah, yeah, they're saying that. And I sometimes don't quite get to the end of reading the subtitle, but I just think, oh, never mind. I'm getting most of the story. I'm not quite catching
Yeah.
everything. But the point is that there is research that shows that this speeds up your ear and it speeds
Yes.
up your reading ability. It helps you to listen faster and to read faster. So,
And Yes, many people ask me that. Should I listen with subtitles? Is it cheating?
It's
Is
not.
no,
No.
no, it's not at all. It's really good for you. You can listen with subtitles and get it.
Yeah.
And then if you really want to challenge yourself,
Yeah.
after you've listened to 20 minutes, rewind, turn off the subtitles and see if it's still there.
Yeah.
Language, don't challenge yourself with language. That just puts the nerves up, puts the block up, that it's not going to work. Language isn't one of those things where you challenge yourself. It's not like math. Do a more difficult problem. Make the numbers bigger. No.
We're really we're modern language teaching methods to a large extent go back to a guy called Krashen. Comprehensible
Even
input.
Krashen.
That was the name of the game, and I think you can go too far with that. It's good to listen to things that you don't quite catch, so that
Not
you
100%, but you know what? I don't understand 100% of what I'm listening to. I know that.
yeah
My brain is making up a lot of
Yeah.
that. You know, maybe I didn't actually, in a scientific way, hear you say to, but my brain knows that that's the word that's expected in that spot and it fills it in. So when you listen in a second language, your brain isn't quite adept enough to fill in the blanks. And you see the holes, you hear the holes and think, "Oh my God, I didn't hear something." But you will. Just keep going. Right?
yeah.